All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It is the Touchdown Crew coming to you live here from Florida and from Texas. I am Charles, the host of it, and we got Coach Victor Bennett over there from the Lone Star State. Man, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy week 3, my man. How you been?
Man, good, man. Good. It's great to see a Sunday. It's great to see a Sunday.
Anytime we see a Sunday, we celebrate. I'm over here watching clips of the Packers and Bears game, and I got a feel for Mike Hughes over there, who hosts Mike on the Mic and Skytown. I feel bad for him because it's like, you got that hope when you go ahead and beat the 49ers, and you're thinking like, oh, you beat a pretty decent team, pretty solid team. Then you go to the Packers, who just got their asses handed to them, and you're thinking, hey, maybe we can go ahead and beat two. No. Bears came up and showed why they are still playing second fiddle. Justin Fields not able to go ahead and get away and not able to go ahead and throw the ball very, very efficiently.
Did they even throw the football? What,
yeah,
8 times?
They did. I mean, listen, Jimmy threw the
8
ball 9 times and won a game, right? Come on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's because Jimmy has what you call a defense. He had a pass rush. But he threw the ball 8 times.
Yeah, I get it. But listen, I'm trying to go ahead and give the Bears some relevancy because my in-laws are also Bear fans too, so I feel for them as well. But it's like losing to the Packers. I mean, listen, I know you were in Lambeau, and it's tough to play in there. Don't get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, you're losing. But just the way you go down, the way you would think here, having Justin Fields in there, you would think the offense would be, I don't know, a little bit more lit, and it's not. And now, is this just a learning curve for Fields? I mean, you'd think he had all last year to go ahead and kind of get the playbook memorized and everything like that. But yes, I understand his receivers are garbage. I understand that, he's got nobody to throw the ball to. He's running for his life half the time. Where does the problem lie in Chicago? Does Chicago just need that O-line? Are they having a little bit of a Bengal fever going on over there where they got no O-line? I mean, what's the deal, or is it just Fields just out suck?
Well, it's first off, it's they got a defensive head coach. So what does defensive head coach wants to do? He wants to play defense. So how do you play defense? Control the clock. Let's run the football. Of course, that worked when you was playing against the 49ers, and it was a monsoon / Trey Lance starting. So
right.
So it worked perfectly fine because no one could really throw the football.
Right.
But then you had to understand you go into this week, and we all knew, if you didn't know, that Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to have 2 bad games in a row.
You would think. Obviously, you would think that.
But consistently, it happens every year. They get blown out.
Gotcha.
They get blown out every year. So then it's one of those things. They was going to throw the football around the field. They was going to get it right. They was going to run the football. Packers was going to run the football. Have a nice little balance. You can't, in no levels, just run the football 95, 99% of the time and think you're going to win a game.
Right. But if you like the Niners do it. But again, the Niners are a different team too.
But they at least throw it 20, 25 times.
Sometimes.
To keep you honest.
Right. They'll like, okay, we're going to run the ball like in the first 10 times, and then we'll throw it. It's like, get a big gain and then run another 10 times. It's just a play call. It's the play calling that could maybe be. I understand the monsoon actually, probably had a big factor in it, obviously, but now they're playing on a real type weather situation where everything was normal, and they get their asses handed to them. And it is a lot of it have to do. Does anything have to do with play calling? I mean, you got a defensive minded coach. I get that, but listen, you're defensive minded. You still got to score points, dude, because you can't. You're not expecting to hold these guys to 0 every time. You're gonna give up points. Now, is that the mindset for a defensive minded coach, or does he expect a 0 on that scoreboard every week?
I mean, you can't expect 0 because stuff happens, but you want two things about it is regardless of the situation. We're talking about the Chicago Bears, and Mike's not on the show, so I'm not going to bash him too much. We all agree that Chicago is maybe a top 5. We know for sure top 10 draft pick in April.
Yeah,
we already know that.
Yeah.
So, and we also know that everybody on the team except the quarterback is playing for a job for next year or somewhere else.
That's right. 53-man roster, only 52 people, only 2 people are on it next year. 50 people, 51 people are looking for work. You're right. There's going to be a lot of papers printed for these 50 players that they have to sign.
Yes. So right now it's just working the quarterback. Say, hey, teaching him, hey, you're the leader, understanding the offense. But we also gotta let him throw the football. You gotta let him do that. You can't throw the football 8 times especially against Green Bay.
Yeah, no, they're
regardless of the situation,
they're gonna lock you down.
We can say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers don't suck in the regular season.
He's not gonna suck
in the regular season.
No, he's gonna suck in week 1, maybe week 2, and then he's just he's gonna turn it up like the last 15 games of the season.
Yeah, so we seen this movie from Aaron Rodgers. We just know when the playoffs hit, he's done.
Yeah,
he's done first, second round.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I get it. It's
and I think, and then another thing, I think with a lot of these teams, man, we fell in love with the first week, and said, "Oh, we've all did. I've done it too." I thought the Vikings would play better than what they did. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we'll get into that there. We'll go over all of week 2's games, including Thursday night, week 3, where it was the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we definitely going to go over that team because it's there. I think there's reason to worry in Pittsburgh, honestly. I think it's Kenny Pickett time. And we'll get into that, though, later. We got injury reports going on, too, as well. Of course, we know that Buffalo is going to be down with Micah Hyde. He is done. That's a big blow to the Steelers, especially when you got a quarterback that apparently can air it out. And two of the fastest.
I mean, the Bills?
Huh?
The Bills?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, you said the Steelers.
I said there's problems in Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that later. Yeah. Oh, okay. But I'm talking about the Bills now. Their injury report. Now, Micah Hyde is gone for the rest of the year. He's a big safety in the over the middle, and when you go ahead and get 2 speedy receivers with a guy who can throw the ball, Tua, that might cause problems. Even though it's in Miami too, so that's another thing. And this is a battle between, yes, you're hearing it, the 2-0 Dolphins against the 2-0 Bills. We all had our doubts in regards to, is Tyreek Hill going to go ahead and get the football? Is he going to get as much times and he's going to get the yards? He's going to be as explosive. Dude, I think we got that answer against Baltimore. And I think we got,
no.
Oh, how can we not? How can we not?
No.
To explain to me the performance that the Miami did against Baltimore, number 1, coming from behind, number 2, Tyreek and freaking Waddle going off and complimenting one another. How can we not say that this is going to be a very, number 1, stellar passing attack, and number 2, Tyreek Hill hasn't missed a step or hasn't missed a beat changing quarterbacks?
Okay. I just when you look at that Baltimore game, especially having all them young cats, them young secondary, no pass rush. Because remember we talked about it when the outside linebacker passed away from Baltimore. Like they're very very young and don't really have a pass rush. That was going to be a problem. Plus, on top of that, you got a new DC, so everybody's still trying to learn each other and understand what he has as a team. It wasn't that Tyreek Hill and Waddle, they had great games, don't get me wrong. But a lot of it was because it was a busted assignments. Like these cats, it wasn't like that it was one-on-one. They was running wide open. That was
I'm
just
just
my whole
saying,
thing.
how
They was
many
running.
busted assignments can you possibly have on a? Don't get me wrong. I understand there's different personnel now than used to be in Baltimore, but Baltimore's always had a competent defense. How many busted
Yes,
assignments can you get in one game?
but they're not the starters are not even there yet, Charles. Jimmy and Peterson is not there yet.
I get that, but dude, still, it's like you're talking about they were all on busted assignments.
But,
okay, listen, one busted assignment, maybe two a game. I get, dude, they were running all over the place.
Okay, well, you know what, Charles?
42 points on the board and lost.
I agree with you. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm still not so. And this is everybody pretty much because one new coach, new system, new everything. We won't know if anybody's hitting their stride or improving until after week 4, week 5, because now you got film on.
Okay.
You don't really have film on a lot of people. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking away any credit from Miami. Tua made the throws, he made the reads, and guess what? They caught the ball and they was chewing and they was gone.
Oh, and just FYI, Tua can throw more than 20 yards in the air, by the way, and still be accurate. I was shocked as you were.
But that's the thing. It wasn't that he can throw it like that. It was, can he do it consistently? Because again, you go back to, but when you go back to it, but if you flip, and that's what's the beauty again of the NFL. Like we live week to week, because week 1 you was praised. Look at New England, great defense, shut them down. They didn't really do anything. They gave up two big plays. I mean, that's the beauty. That's why you love the NFL, because everybody,
you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know.
And you be up and down. But again, we've all said it. The Dolphins is the second best team in the AFC East. You was in denial a little bit, but I think you starting to believe it. We said that. So for me, it's like, it's one of those things like, okay, let me see how you grow over time.
Now,
and they did a great.
Where would you rate the Dolphins in the AFC? Period. Are they a top 5 team?
No, they're in the not 5.
Are they wild card?
Maybe. Yes.
Okay, so they're at least a top 7 team.
No, they're in the playoffs. Yes. Because.
But do you see that they're like more of the we're going to play on the road?
You know what? Take the back. If they are top 5, because the AFC South, we have to put somebody in it just because.
but that still could mean that they're 6. Are they the worst of the rest of them besides it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what sucked about it. It's like you gotta put them in. So it's kind of like,
yeah. The AFC South, I agree with you. It is just total complete garbage right now. I don't even understand how we used to say the same thing with the NFC East. Now it's like, well, the NFC East has got some players or teams now. They're looking okay. But yeah, if we take a look at the South, there's only one team with a win. Jacksonville. I mean, do you want to go ahead and say Houston and Indianapolis, they had the tie? Does that make them all right? And Tennessee just shockingly 0-2, and they've given up more than 30. They've averaging 31 points giving up. That's not Tennessee at all. Now, if you take a look at the NFC East, you got 2 teams with 2 victories, the Eagles and the Giants. There's no team in there that has got a losing record right now. And then we have I'm just saying it's like the AFC South is horrible. And I think unless Pittsburgh makes some changes, honestly, I think Pittsburgh is in trouble too. You know, so coach is having some technical difficulties here, so we're going to go ahead and press along here. But so let's go over the standings here. So right now, for our picks after 2 weeks, and I'll say your boy over here had a major turnaround after only winning 5 games in week 1, taking the very bottom end of the stick, where Victor, Mike, and Randy all had 9 or 10 wins. I had 5. This week, I went up to have 10 wins, and everybody else had 7 or 8. And speaking of, we're going to trade Victor for Mike. Mike, what's going on, my man? Good morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as always.
Man.
You have your coffee yet?
How's everything going?
Not too bad. Yeah, Victor was having some technical. He had to drop off. There he is.
What happened? It just said your mic went off, and then it says your video stopped.
Gotta love that Microsoft Surface, huh?
Man, it's killing me these last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So anyway, no, we were talking about the AFC. We were just harping on the Dolphins, and you know, I was complimenting the performance between Waddle and Hill, and how Tua can actually throw the ball more than 15 yards accurately to Vic over there, because he was a doubter. And
No.
You weren't a doubter?
I wasn't a doubter. I said he can't do it consistently.
Oh.
That like I think I always said I think Tua is a above average quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Well, you said he's like you said he likes to throw the short passes. He's very accurate in the short passes, but you weren't sold on the long ball.
Yes.
Are you sold now?
No. You know, one game busted assignments do not. I mean, Charles, hell, we could have went out there and threw some of them balls.
Anyway, so we were talking about the Bills being down Micah Hyde, Miami playing at home against Buffalo this week. If Miami shown they can go ahead and throw deep, they can go ahead. Without Micah Hyde, does Buffalo actually look vulnerable right now with the way this passing offense is from Miami, or do you think they can go ahead and tune it up and figure it out come 1 o'clock today, Mike?
Can't hear nothing. Hold on. Let me start over. I can't hear what you're saying. I just seen my picture come up.
Oh, right. Let me get out of here. I was trying to go ahead and get your attention. Everybody having freaking the technical.
Man.
Oh, go ahead, Coach. Micah Hyde there. Do you think they're going to be vulnerable with this passing attack?
Yeah, of course they will. I think it's not even because of Michael Hyde. It's more so that your corners, you missing a corner because one got hurt. I don't even know if their best corners is playing yet still. So and they play man. So I think it's more so their DBs than anything. But hey man, they got the Great White Hope on the other side. So they're gonna, they're gonna Josh Allen us to death.
Is this gonna be a shootout like we saw last week?
We don't want Buffalo don't want to shoot out.
No?
No, God,
they seem like they can handle themselves on that, though.
No, don't do that. No, we're not gonna do that. Don't. Can I say this?
No.
Okay.
Michael, you back?
Yeah.
You okay?
I'm about to ask if he thinks Miami's defense is tougher than Buffalo's when it comes to the shootout question. I think offensively they definitely can hang.
Yeah. I
think the Bills' defense is a little more cohesive and stronger than Miami's.
Yeah, because you got Von Miller. You're gonna have a pass rush. It's in Miami, so Von Miller is he does great in warm conditions. But Buffalo does. I don't think Buffalo wants to shoot out because it's one of those things. Now, like I said for Buffalo, new OC, new play calling, new style. Somehow I don't know how, but Diggs is running wide open. He's done it 2 games straight. So if it was me, I'm gonna double Diggs and say, okay, Josh, come run this football because that's what you. Because once I take Diggs away, that's what you're getting ready to do.
Okay.
So
it's more of a coaching standpoint than necessarily just flat out players. Okay.
Yeah, to me, this game because we go matchups. You say receivers, who you gonna pick? Dolphins or Buffalo?
For receivers?
Yes.
The core?
Yeah, the core. Now just one, the core.
Yeah, it'd probably be Miami.
So you say Miami. Of course, we already know you're gonna say Bills quarterback.
Right.
Running game, Dolphins or Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Yeah.
You say Buffalo because who? Because Josh Allen running it, correct?
Well, that and
being a threat included with it, I guess you would have to say yeah.
Singletary ain't that bad either, but yeah, Josh Allen.
But come on, man.
Josh
Allen leads the team in rushing. You can't say Mike Singletary is not that bad.
You can't go ahead and do that after 2 games. I guess you could,
but he's been doing it. So okay, so we got Buffalo on O-line. Would say a wash because Buffalo hadn't had a pass rush on them yet, and even Miami hasn't either, really, to a certain degree with the Patriots. So then you go to the defense side of the ball. Who do you have in the secondary? Who do you think has a better secondary? Now keep in mind, Buffalo has 3 injuries, 3 of their starters out.
Well, if you're going to take it this week, it'll have to be Miami,
right?
Of course, we're going to say D-line. We'll say pass rush. We'll say Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo definitely. Because, like I said, just flat out, Miami couldn't contain your MVP, and they really only had 1 good sack against Mac Jones. They didn't really have much of a rush at all.
Yes. So now it's really, it boils down to when you look at it when it's out, it's just X's and O's now.
So you're gonna say it's going? I think the matchup is gonna be Tua versus pass rush then.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to see. You're not going to have all that time to go ahead and wait for Tyreek to go ahead and run downfield, or Waddle for that matter. And it's going to come to is the Dolphins O line going to be able to handle Vaughn in that pass rush?
Yeah, and I'm not going. And there's one thing about it is I haven't honestly, truthfully watched Miami. I watched glimpse when I watched them play New England. I was like, okay. And then I said, this game is over with. So I didn't watch it. I didn't stay long. But even when I watched them play Baltimore, I flipped back and forth. When I flipped back and forth because I was watching Tampa, I would watch like 3 games at once. So every time one went on commercials, I just went to another game. So I didn't really get to watch the whole second half. I just saw the highlights and I see guys running wide open.
Yeah.
So I haven't really just looked at their offense and understand their game plan because it's just the times that they came on, it was like 4 or 5 games I wanted to watch. But today, this is a game I'm going to watch. So at least have an understanding of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, this is actually a game that I think a lot of people are going to watch because, I mean, as much as I hate to say, this is going to be the 2 teams that are going to be battling it out for the East over the next foreseeable future. So this is definitely going to be these 2 teams that are going to go ahead and this is going to be that rivalry that actually finally kicks into gear that actually people care about. So we'll see how that goes, though. But that is a game. I believe it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place over here. I apologize.
No, it's okay. We all messed up today.
Yeah, we're all almost. It's week 3, everybody, of the NFL. But let's go ahead and talk about week 2 real quickly. Let's talk about our picks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, listen, you guys laughed at me week 1, which you had every right to be. I only won 5 games out of my picks. Coach Vic and Mike, 10 games. Randy had 9. So I was down in the dumps. Now, to my surprise, I go ahead and pull off a couple of upsets, and I end up winning 10 games. Victor and Mike, 7. Randy with 8. Now, if you do the calculations in your head, that puts everybody except me at 17 games. I am at 15. So right now it's a 3-way tie for first. Randy's already put in his picks, and we'll go over the games a little bit later. But
hey,
good.
Do we have a bet on like the bottom guy?
No, not yet. Why? You want to put one? I mean,
Man, we should.
I mean, it's close
Trump
enough to the point where I'll agree to it.
It's you said what?
I said it's close enough to where I'm not that far out of contention that
if you'd have said it last week, he'd have said no.
Yeah, I would have said no.
Well, of course, Mike, you've been there, you've seen it. I mean, not Mike, Charles, you did it last year. It was the up and down roller coaster, and then all of a sudden it just I separated from the pack.
Yeah,
but that's another story.
It was up and down. Then all of a sudden, I'm on hiatus for like however many weeks, and then it was you have those good weeks, and you have those bad weeks, and with picks like I do, I'm always looking for that upset pick, and either it bites me in the ass or it goes ahead and it's like, hey, you pulled out a rabbit.
I think a couple of them comebacks murdered me too.
Man,
well, I will tell you this. I was the only one to pick Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait till Sunday to talk about this. I can't wait to talk about this. I'm just like, I don't know how they did it. Honest to God, I don't know how they did it. They came back and scored that many points against a team that usually in Baltimore usually has a stout defense. Usually. But that wasn't the case. And I was like, all right, cool. I win. I'll take that. I was also one of the ones that took Tampa Bay. You all jokers took the Saints because I knew Tampa Bay was coming in. They were going to do it. We all
for Mike Evans.
We're going to talk about that too. We all took Pittsburgh. We all took Cleveland. We were both dumbfounded by that. Me and Randy took Detroit. You all took Washington. We won that one. Everybody took the Giants and won. Vic put the Jaguars on point. Go ahead and gloat, my friend. Go ahead and gloat. Indianapolis just went ahead and just laid down and died. I don't know what the hell's going on with them, but it could be Matt Ryan just being, Matt Ryan. He likes to give up points. Like I said, Miami went over to Baltimore. You guys all picked Baltimore. I picked Miami. Everybody picked Carolina and won. Everybody picked San Francisco and won. Cincinnati. Everybody picked Cincinnati. What the hell's going on with the Bengals? What's going on with the Bengals?
But I told you that though, Charles. I said it before we left.
Like Cincinnati.
I said it's gonna be I said it's gonna be a close game because Dallas fits well against what Cincy wants to do. You want to throw the football across the field.
On top of that, the other point was Cooper Rush. Did we really think Cooper Rush was going to come in there and beat Cincinnati?
But did you really think when you talk about Cincinnati, do you talk about their offense or their defense?
I like the defense better, actually.
You think, but majority of people talk about
the run game, Nick Mixon, quarterback.
Well, I got that run game isn't always on point, but when it is, it's awesome. But passing is more my thing with Cincinnati.
Yeah. So,
but again, the whole thing is though that O-line is suspect, and it's you think.
But do you really
they made this year? You think they would be better, and it's not.
But do you really think? And we talked about this. I don't think it's all O-line's fault. Like I think.
Then what is it then?
Because look at
Burrow not that good.
Burrow holding the football 1 and 2. Look at the routes. Every ball he's thrown is like super deep. It's like 10, 20 yards. I haven't seen him throw. He don't throw really bubble screens. You don't really throw any quick outs. You don't even throw any
he had all that success last year. He's come in with confidence that, dude, we just go ahead and chalk it up 20, 30 yards. We got a touchdown or we got a long gain. And he's got that confidence. And now all of a sudden it's shaken. Is Joe Burrow in regression mode now?
But also you got to realize something too. What they're doing, they did it last year. The only difference is they won. They won last year.
But now
they've always came in. You look at all the games. They was always down at halftime. But now, your field goal kicker last year, he was hitting everything. He didn't miss nothing. Now,
right,
he's missing field goals. So you're going to get sacks. You're going to get sacks because they're not going to change what they are and who they are. You brought in a whole new O-line, drafted Super Bowl champion on your O-line. you're still getting the same results. So it's you can't blame the O-line coach. It's either the OC and the quarterback.
Mike, you agree with that, man? Do you think it's more of the OC and the coach?
I mean, you got to blame. Man, I ain't gonna say blame nobody, but when it comes to play calling, those are the two who has control of it, and it kind of goes more on the quarterback in different areas based on how much freedom he has to make the adjustments from what the coach called. So win, lose, or draw, those the quarterback gonna carry the weight no matter what. But you definitely have to see the game plan calling. I believe he does hold the ball a little long because he wants the long ball. He wants to score quick. I think they need to weigh heavy more on mixing and get more consistent with the run game.
Yeah, I agree. I think they need to go ahead and mix it up. Play action's also probably a better idea. Like you mentioned, screens wouldn't hurt. Try moving the ball downfield instead of winning it in one or two plays. I agree. Cowboys ended up winning that 20-17, and like you said, it came down to a last second. It was close. Came down to a last second field goal. So again, we were all upset there. We all picked Cincinnati, and we all lost. We all thought the Broncos were going to win, and they did, 16-9. Vegas ended up. I don't know what they did, but
man, choke.
What game was that? I mean, listen, you got to give credit to where credit's due. Give credit to Arizona for just pulling together and just gutting it out. Zeros on the clock with a 2-point conversion, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion to tie the game, and then they win in overtime. I mean, gut check there. Vegas, we all picked Vegas to win. That was not the case. Kyler Murray said no. It's not
to the football.
Yeah. Green Bay ended up smacking around the Chicago Bears. Mike was the only one to pick the Bears. We were smart and picked the Packers. Buffalo, everybody picked Buffalo. We knew that was going to happen. And we were all dumb to pick Minnesota, and Philadelphia ended up winning that. And Jalen Hurts, Mike, let's go ahead and hear it, man. Talk about your boy Jalen Hurts. I know it's going to hurt.
Yeah, Mike.
Not yet.
Mike, talk about him.
Talk
about Hurts, Mike.
Still not a believer yet.
Oh my God.
Still not a believer. Still not. I will give it to the coordinator. He's using him smartly. I don't even think that was a big game for me. Like, I need you to be somebody big and hold your composure.
You don't see Minnesota being a big game.
It wasn't.
I'm
still not for everybody on this panel that was saying Minnesota's going to do something this year. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You don't think that's a big game?
Who said they was going to do something this year?
We all did. We all said that Minnesota was going to be something this year.
No, that
they were going to shock a lot of people.
I did. Yeah, they're going to shock a lot. I said they're going to shock a lot of people, but I didn't put them in that category. I didn't even have Minnesota pick going to the playoffs.
I think I did. I'm gonna say I did.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you in my pregame picks, I had them beating the Eagles before preseason. The defensive coordinator has changed my mind and how he's not afraid to bump and run and press and put a little pressure on people when it's on 3rd and 3. He putting pressure. 3rd and 8, he putting pressure. He don't care what it is. I'm coming to get you. So I'm got more faith in the defense. I'm still not a Jalen Hurts fan. I don't care what no one says. He give me about 3 more good games, then we can talk.
And we can talk 3 more good games.
Then we can talk. And I ain't even saying he got to win them, but let me see more consistency out of him. Then we can talk.
You know what? Maybe we need to start taking Mike a little bit more seriously. He said Eagles going to the Super Bowl. I even think he said at some point in time they're going undefeated. They're 2-0. 15 more to go. 15 more games to go.
Boy. I'm not going to entertain. Listen, I am not getting ready to entertain this. One, I said Jalen Hurts. Man, I like Jalen Hurts, man. Maybe because you can say he's from Texas or whatever. But he's a worker, man. He worked in Alabama. He's a team player. They didn't want him no more. Tua took his spot. He still stayed on the team. He still worked. And when he went in and performed, then he went to Oklahoma and did the exact same thing. So I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a guy. He's a coach's son. And he's going to work. And he's going to be fine.
Nothing. His character is phenomenal. His teammate compatibility, phenomenal. It's just when I was watching him, and I'm trying to change my mindset. When I was watching him before he went to Oklahoma, It was keep
Run,
that
run,
boy
run.
under 15 to 20 passes, and we can win the game.
Yeah,
If we need him to win the game throwing the ball, we in trouble.
yeah.
And the defense is allowing him to where he doesn't have to throw the ball. The run game, the short passes, the RPOs is allowing him not to have to throw the deep ball until it's completely wide open.
But you got to realize something too, though, and you have a very, very balanced offense.
Yes.
Like you have two guys that can beat the 1-on-1. Plus, you have a tight end
That
that's
controls
not
the
bad
middle.
that can
Right.
control the middle,
And you got a run game between both of them.
And plus, you got Jalen Hurts can be able to run the ball. It is a good. They have a good. I'm not gonna say great. They have a
The
good
O-line
offense.
has cohesiveness. They've been together a minute.
They've been together for some years now.
Yeah.
So the Eagles are not. They're not a bad team. My only knock for the Eagles is just leadership. You don't have a born leader that's been there, done that.
They do. They're just in the trenches with Johnson and Cox. They're in the trenches.
Yeah.
And the quiet one, like the cornerback who they gave captain was Slade. They're not flamboyant. They're not the quarterback type leaders. I mean, and Jalen's he's a captain because what quarterback is never really the captain, but I think their leaders are just silent leaders, and they're not in front of the TV like that.
Yeah, the Eagles. I like the Eagles. Vikings, on the other hand.
Well, nobody likes the Vikings anymore.
I can admit to it that I got into the hype of Justin Jefferson running wide open, and that was the hype of that.
Yeah.
But also, you got to realize who you still got at quarterback.
You gotta take a look at Justin Jefferson as a fantasy football player, not the one that's going to go ahead and make him a team winner or make the team win.
But again, man,
I'll take him on my fantasy team any day, but he ain't going to make the Vikings win.
What's his name? I can't think of it.
It's one of those things. I just waiting to see again week 4, week 5, because another team that I like how y'all just didn't say too much about. You like, well, the Broncos beat the Texans. Denver Broncos are struggling, brother. That quarterback, hey, say what you want.
You know what? I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to come around to think that Russell. No,
Mike, what do you have to say? Because because I remember everybody said, "Oh, they got the receivers, they got all this. Russ is gonna cook." Man, he was in
he just forgot the barbecue sauce, man. He forgot to go ahead and turn on the oven.
He was in a dog fight with the Texans, and my brother was here, and my brother's a Bronco fan, and I gave him the blues. I was like, "You're in a dog fight with the Houston. Like, you scored 1 touchdown. You was in the red zone 6 times in 2 games, and only scored 1 touchdown." What, Mike?
Are we really putting all the blame on Russell on this point?
No, it's not just Russ. The coach too.
Yeah, okay.
He's terrible. But I said that from the beginning. You hire what, the OC quarterback coach for the Packers that used to be the Jaguars OC.
Yeah.
He didn't call not a down play in Green Bay. We all knew that. So again, I'm gonna pass this buck to Mike because I know that's his.
Yeah, pass the buck to Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
He was Russ.
And I'm gonna say the same thing with Jalen. After 2 games, you already gave him out. You already was done with him before, so prior to. So just let some games go by. It take more than even though they had the summer and the spring, it takes time to get that live cohesiveness. And we got us. I know one of his receivers got hurt that game too. I seen that when I was watching it. So don't worry about it. And I know your brother love you right now. I'm gonna tell him, don't worry about it. He ain't got no worries. Russ and the Broncos gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the only thing you got to do, we'll see. Where are we at here? Last game was the one I think we need to talk about, and that's the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. And this will be my first buy or sell. Actually, hold on. Before we get to this, let's talk to the Cowboy fan. What's going on, John?
I just want to say congratulations to your coach and their bottom. I talked shit. The Vikings were going to shellac your team. I was wrong again this week. Congratulations.
Look at that. Congratulations there from the Cowboy fan.
But anyways, go Cowboys!
Thanks, John. All right, so let's get down to it here. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Let's go ahead and do maybe the way too early thought process here. Is Pittsburgh needing to go ahead and get Pickett in there, or is it too soon? Ooh, don't let the silence go ahead and overtake you there, gentlemen.
I don't think it's too soon because, like, I think Mitchell is not too far of a different version than Roethlisberger. Pittsburgh has always been fundamentally sound for defense and a run game. So it's like I said, 2 weeks you can't throw nobody away after 2 weeks. You can't give up on a squad in 2 weeks. So I'm still holding on to him, not selling yet.
Coach?
No, you gotta ride. You gotta ride with the vet because once you make that switch, you can't make it back.
Yeah.
Like you can't make it back. You take Thursday night. Okay, we lost 2 games in. We 1-1. We realized that shoot, Trubisky, all the offense is only gonna give us 17, 14 points in the past 2 games. The rest we got on defense and special teams. So you just you got this. You got days. Now you focus. What can we do? Now you understand what Trubisky's probably good at, even throwing wise. The difference between Trubisky and Big Ben gonna chunk it up. He's gonna stay in the pocket and he's gonna throw it deep. They got receivers that can catch it deep, but Trubisky don't want to throw the football deep. So they're gonna probably switch the offense up a little bit, change it, try to figure out a way to get the run game going, and prepare for the Jets.
Here's the question.
You got to go ahead and realize this is the Pittsburgh that they lost to Cleveland. That was their 3rd game. They're 1-2.
Yeah.
Cleveland with that win, they're 2-1. So that's 3 games, not 2. So it's. Listen, Trubisky wasn't exactly doing anything like you mentioned. He's holding the ball way too long too. You talk about Burrow holding not Burrow. Yeah. You talk about Burrow holding the ball too long. My God. I see this guy take a sack after looking for somebody to throw to for like 10 seconds. It's like you gotta throw it away, man. You gotta get rid of it. He's not smart.
Now I would say this. I think Kenny Pickett, passing wise, is better than Trubisky, which we all knew that. Because Kenny gonna throw that football all across the field. That's one thing he's good at. He's old, he's a veteran. Coming out of college, he can go 2-3 years. He's been there for a minute. So, but you can't make that move right away and Tomlin's not the kind of guy that's going to do that. He's going to give you a chance. He's going to figure it out. He's going to blame before he blame the players. He's going to blame himself. He's going to blame the coaching staff and say, "Hey, we got it. This is our job. We're 1-2, but they're going to figure it out." I have them going. That'd be 500 after next week.
They're saying they're playing the Jets. Unless the Jets go ahead and improve on what they're doing, which they may, we'll see this. We'll see. We'll see today to see what the Jets end up doing. They're facing up against Cincinnati.
Yeah,
if the Jets go ahead and pull off a victory against Cincinnati, I think you worry. I think you start worrying if you're Pittsburgh.
Hell, they beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati's the worry.
Well, yeah, that's true. Cincinnati going 0-3, defending AFC champions. Yeah, you got worries all over the place there. Jets don't even have their starting quarterback, but they're 1-1.
But man, I'm not gonna say it's a fluke. The Browns gave that game. Once the game was over with, and then I was like, "Oh, Pittsburgh plays them on Thursday."
Well, let's think of this though.
I just wish I could switch my pick because I said Cleveland's gonna beat.
But let's think of this: the Browns lose to the Jets, but they beat the Steelers. If you use that philosophy, dude, we just lost to the Jets.
But you lost to the Jets with, like, you had dumb mistakes the last 3 minutes.
The dumb mistakes happen.
But again, like I said, give credit to the Jets. But we'll see. I have Pittsburgh winning against the Jets. Pittsburgh actually messed up my picks because I had them beating the Patriots, but it is what it is.
It's all good. It's all good.
Like I said, man, we can't. They can't score no more than 14 points. Their average is 14, 17 points because the first game was 23-20, but you got 7 from the defense.
Yeah.
Then
you're right. They can't score. They just can't score.
Because you got 14 when you played the Patriots. Then it was 17-29, which it was a close game to the end, to the last play. So it was 17-22. So again, they can't score.
Yeah, they're having a hard time scoring, and their defense isn't really holding anybody. They're giving up 22 points a game. So it's like you got to score more than what you're giving up. If you can't do that, you're going to be sinking. You're going to be sinking maybe below Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's pulling up the rear right now at 0-2. So that's what I'm saying. It's not time to panic yet in Pittsburgh, guys. Do you think Pittsburgh's okay? We're going to give it another couple of weeks, and then, does it only seem like dire straits? Like, say Pittsburgh. All right. Well, let's to the consensus they win next week. They win against the Jets. Okay. Low scoring affair, but they win. They're taking on Buffalo and Tampa Bay at Buffalo and at home against Tampa. And then Miami. Say you lose those 3 games. Is it time for a change?
I think they're gonna win one of them. I can't say which one yet, but I think 500, anything 500 or better, he doesn't make a change at quarterback.
Yeah,
their bye week is week 9. So what they after the Jets say, okay, we're picking them to win against the Jets. I think we all have that. That's next week. We'll worry about that next week.
All right.
Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, Philly, bye week. Those next 4 games, you're at 2-2, and you say they're going to win one of them. I know
one of those 3.
You know they're not going to. I know, Michael. You're saying they ain't going to beat my Eagles.
My heart not, but they got a thing about winning that state game.
So if they go,
they
3-5 at the bye week. Are we seeing Pickett warming up?
But are you counting? But it's either going to be what, 3-6 or
it'll be 3-5. That's week 8. After week 8 against Philly, that's
so
8 games.
So 2-2, 2-2, and if they split those 4 games, they'll still be 500, right?
Yes.
If they split them, they'll still be
right.
500.
If they split those, they'll still be 500. He's not changing nothing.
But
I think if they go on a 4-game losing streak.
These are elite teams.
Yeah,
I can understand if they split, he keeps them.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. When you really look at it, and I know it's early, it's only 2 games.
Right.
If you look at the divisions, because at the end of the day, he's trying to make the playoffs. We've already said he's not going to be the number 1 team in the district. I mean, in the division, in the conference. So you look at it, you got Miami, Buffalo, that's undefeated. You got Kansas City, that's undefeated. That's it. Everybody else is in that 1-1 or 0-2. So he's not bad as of right now, because you still have, like I said, the goal is to get to 10. Right now, you got 9 more to go. You win next Sunday, now you got 8 more to go.
Right.
So that's the biggest. So this division, AFC, is not as tough as people thought, because I'm not going to say who, because I thought it. Cincinnati was not the team that everybody thought went from last year.
Nope. But I also didn't think Miami was going to be the team that they are either. I know they're going to be up there, but I didn't think playoff bound.
You didn't think the Colts was going to be in a dogfight with the Texans?
That too, yeah. I didn't think Tennessee was going to be 0-2. I didn't think the Colts were going to look as shabby as they are.
Like who would have picked Jaguars winning is 1-1 winning the division?
Well, 1-1 winning the yeah. If you're at 500, winning the AFC South.
Yes.
You got 2 comparable teams that should be getting 10, 11 wins. Tennessee and Houston. You should be getting those 2 teams up there. You go ahead and at 500. Of course, there's no such thing as 500 anymore, not until they add an 18th game. But 9-8, or even 8-9, God forbid, and you win that division. That's sorry. Those teams went downhill fast. And those teams, they have changes to make. Like Indianapolis goes ahead and trades for a quarterback. You got one of the best, if not the best running back in your backfield, and you can't muster up more than 20 points after 2 games. You got Tennessee, who's always been a dominant team, especially defensively, giving up 62 points in 2 games and only mustering 27. Where is your team?
Shit, where's Henry? Have you seen him?
Where is he? I haven't seen him. I seen somebody that looks like Derrick Henry, but he ain't Derrick Henry. So there's issues going on with Indy and Tennessee. But you're right. The AFC, who we thought they were, well, we knew Kansas City's Kansas City. We knew Buffalo was Buffalo. We knew that. We didn't think Pittsburgh would be throwing what they're throwing right now. I thought Pittsburgh would be 2-1 by now.
So just right now, if the playoffs started today, Pittsburgh is the 11 best team in the AFC. So they're still there. They just got to win games.
But you're saying if the playoffs start today,
yeah,
they wouldn't be in it.
They wouldn't be in it. But I'm saying I wouldn't rush it. I wouldn't force it after 2 games because again,
3.
Well, in their case, 3. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Because for them, you're still trying to understand and develop. Because now that it's different in practice. When you have practice, man, you can kind of control the practice. You can control everything. He really didn't do too much in the preseason games. So right now, this is technically like 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the preseason games to see what you got. Because it again, and Mike knows, we've seen it all the time. I got kids that are practice heroes.
Man.
They will come out. You be like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be right.
Yeah.
Game comes down. They be like, what?
It's a different color.
It's like they game day does, man. So
here's another team that I didn't see. The Raiders 0-2.
Well, the thing about that though,
that.
but we already knew that it was O-line secondary that was gonna be the issues. Secondary is trash.
The front 7 is solid though, but
the front 7 is solid, but they was trash in the secondary, and then that's one of the biggest things. And man, I mean, he fumbled. What's his name? Fumbled 3 times in one drive. Like, but again,
it's crazy.
That's why you play. You play the full game. Yep. Play it all the way through.
The thing about, I'm going back to Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Who AJ Brown going? Who's demanding a serious possible double team at receiver to take somebody out the box? Can you name 2 of that? Can you name one of their receivers?
Yeah, but let me flip it. I've seen Derrick Henry land on his butt.
Yeah.
When have you ever seen that?
You haven't.
Like there's a difference.
I know that 9th man coming down strong because they don't care about the pass game makes a difference.
Yeah. Nobody's worried about Tannehill.
Or the people he's going to.
Where's Robert Woods?
Here's one of the people that they're throwing to is Robert Woods, but he's injured. I believe he's
still hurt.
Yeah. They did sign Josh Gordon. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore, though. This is according to Wikipedia.
He's on the active roster.
He's on the active roster.
Yeah. Cody Hollister, Kyle Phillips, Nick Westbrook-Akeen, Traylon Burks. Phillips and Burks.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I got safeties coming down hard on the run this year.
Oh, yeah.
Against
Hell
them.
yeah. I mean, you got Austin Hooper, who's a pretty good receiving tight end. But that's it. That's all you got. Honestly, I'm taking a look at the receivers here. The receivers are worse in Tennessee than they are in Chicago. And that's hard to do. Mike will even tell you that. That's hard to do, to have a receiving core worse than what Chicago has. That's hard. I don't know, man. Somebody in the GM's office, man, they need to they seriously. I don't know why they even let Julio go, unless it was money wise. But I'm just saying, it's just crazy. Like, They got nobody to throw to. None. Josh is too busy out there behind the stands smoking a pipe. Nobody
Nah,
cares.
don't do that. But also, I mean, that's another team that relies on their defense, and that defense, that pass rush, and
That
the stopping
defense
the
ain't
run
there anymore.
is nowhere to be found. I'm gonna give Braver credit because I consider him he's a good coach, and I hope he figured out. And again, like we said, we're talking about the Tennessee Titans.
And he's a Patriot alumni, so I'm really hoping he does turn it around. I
The
really want to.
division, shoot,
It look open. It's open.
it's open. Look, like it's one of those things. Like,
listen, it's open for somebody to get a damn victory. Somebody get a victory, except for the Jaguars. Somebody else get a win.
Cause shoot, if let the Jaguars win 5 more games, this division's over with. Cause these suckers, boy.
That's crazy. That's great. The AFC South has now become the new NFC East. The NFC East is tearing it up. They got 2 undefeated teams. They have the Giants and the Eagles. They're 2-0 right now, and the Commanders and Cowboys both won a game. They're 1-1. So it's competitive in the East. It's also very competitive in the South. And the only problem is they're competing in the AFC South for the number 1 pick. They're not competing for playoffs. There's like, how many games can we tank before we get that number 1 pick? And right now, Tennessee is doing a great job of tanking. Great job of tanking. Just statistic wise, they're averaging giving up 31 points a game. They've scored a total of 27 in 2 games. Just mull that over. Mull it over, let it marinate. Tennessee is in trouble unless they figure it out, and they figure it out quick. And if they figure it out, they best do it now, which they're facing against Vegas. So it's 2 0-2 teams. And this one's going to be in Tennessee. So that's at least that's at least some good news. They'll be in front of about 1,500 fans. At least they'll be cheering for them. Because I don't think Oakland Raider fans or Vegas Raider fans will be traveling to Tennessee unless they want to see
the upside is they haven't played nobody in their division. So they still can do something with their division. That's the upside to what they've done so far.
That is true. Are you talking about the South?
The Tennessee Titans. They haven't played nobody in their division.
That's true.
So,
they have not. They have not played anybody in the division. You're correct.
So that's a plus for them right now.
For right now,
right.
It ain't gonna help if you're 2-10 and those 2 wins came and you're 2-0 in your division. It ain't gonna help you much.
Not.
It will help you if when it comes down to it, you're 8-8 and you're vying for that last wild card spot possibly, and that last game's against the division opponent. Okay, that will help you a little bit, but not when you're playing like this. Yeah. Not when you're playing like this. It's horrible. They got to figure something. They got to find somebody in free agency. Get Odell Beckham, for crying out loud. Somebody get him on the phone.
He's not making that. He's not going there.
He wouldn't.
But those are the conversations that you have as a coach.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you tell our guys, I mean, you say it to the coaches, like, hey, we're 0-2. But guess what? Best team out of the division right now is 1-1. And we hadn't played any conference games. So we're good. We're good.
I don't know if that's going to be a big, booster there.
But that's the one day at a time, one game at a time. We're still fine. We're still in it. It's not. I mean, look at Cincy. Cincy's 0-2, but you still have a chance. It's just one of those things. One day, let's get better today than it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Boom. Let's get a win. Once we get a win, then we keep going. And like I said, man, it's still early, and a lot of people are still trying to figure out their team. I mean, you could take Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not in the. I'm a Tom Brady throw it 40, 50 times a game. They
No,
switched
no,
up. They
no.
switched us like, hey, we don't have, our line is depleted. Hey, receivers is hurt right now. Shoot, let's pound it. And let's do some play action. I mean, you're still trying to figure out your team. And you're trying to figure out what you have because the injuries and everything else, it change, it adjusts.
But
Coaching staff.
let's talk about the game there, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. We found out Jameis is still Jameis. Let's be realistic. 3 interceptions, 1 pick six. That sounds like Jameis Winston. I know
that, but here's
it's because against Tampa.
Nope, it wasn't because against Tampa. It was
Okay.
my biggest belief was because it was 6-6, 3-3. I was like, oh my gosh, this game is terrible. No one is doing anything offensively. But when we went up and scored a touchdown, now Jameson put it upon himself. He probably got overhyped up because guess what? After that, if it wasn't for the Mike Evans incident, the score would have been 6-3 or 3 or whatever. It would have been like that. Probably would have been a tie.
It was 3-3 going into the fourth quarter.
Yes,
and then they opened up with an interception. Tampa Bay drives field goal for a touchdown, and then you would think, but hear me out. You would think New Orleans would say, "Okay, we need to drive the field. We still got time. It's not like there's time that's left. We can still go down and tie." Throws another pick. Two, and each of these are 2 plays or 1 plays into the drive. The last 3 plays, the first 3 plays of the fourth quarter, 2 of them are interceptions. Tampa Bay goes down and gets a field goal. They're up by 10. Another interception. The third drive. It's Jameis.
No. Yeah, again. They forced his hand, knowing Jameis Winston. He was too hyped. And he tried to put it upon himself and force balls. And that's what happens. Again, and I have to say this, and I don't want to jinx it. We look good in the secondary. Hey, Mike, that was my question mark. I said it from the beginning. I was like, we ain't worried about the run game. We ain't worried about the little screen passes and stuff like that. It was over the top. But right now, Club City. So we're gonna be all right.
All right, Mike. Any comments on Jameis being Jameis or the Tampa Bay Buccaneer game and Saints game?
No, I think the Bucs got lucky. That's all it was. They didn't come in there and confidently defeat anybody. When you had that scuffle that they had, I think that was emotions getting riled up because it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that scuffle real quick because we saw Lattimore, going through the whole progression of the suspension. Which, by the way, Mike Evans is out for today's game. They will have Cole Beasley, who's just signed this week, to go ahead and play because of their depleted receiving core. But Marshawn Lattimore actually put his hands on Brady before Evans came in and completely ran him over like a monster truck. And they gave him a 1-game suspension, but not Lattimore, starting the scuffle. Do we feel this is the right call?
Well, the second person always get the worst. Everybody knows that. And he came outside of the altercation and joined in. So they're kind of viewing him as an escalator because it wasn't that big of a thing until he came and really threw gasoline on the fire. Let me say it that way.
Mike Evans?
It wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
yes.
Evans.
Yeah.
Man, this I give a lot of flat. I talk a lot of noise about Mike Evans, especially his route running. But I will say this: he's ride or die with his team because it happened 3 or 4 years ago with Jameis Winston with the New Orleans. They said something to Jameis and everything else, and he came and cleaned somebody up. Like he's always been that guy when it comes to team, and he's not gonna let you punk Brady because he knows for a fact, one, I need Brady. For us to get to where we need to go, I need Brady. So I'm not tripping. You want to touch Brady, I'm gonna let you know what happens.
But Brady ain't afraid to go ahead and get in somebody's grill and start trash talking. He ain't afraid to go ahead.
Without a doubt.
You got to realize this. But could have Mike went ahead and stepped in and was like, hey, back the hell off my quarterback. Tom,
no.
let's go.
No. You got to
Why would you have to go? Why would you have
because
to go
it's a rival. Because think about it. What have you been hearing all day for all week? You lost to them. You got blown out. You got shut down. You have all these things, and then even during the game, you technically say you were shut out to a degree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then,
I mean, holding the Brady offense to 3 points in 3 quarters. Yeah, that's a pretty good accomplishment.
but it's always they match up great against us.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, I think it's time to go ahead and make our picks, but we're going to do a little differently. We're going to go into the game, go over the injury report, times, where it's going to be at, and then we'll make our picks. So instead of going rapid fire with the games, we'll just go ahead and one by one. So you know what? Probably a good idea if I had this thing done prepared. Like I said, we're all over the place today. But you know what? What is not all over the place is where the Touchdown Crew can be seen every Sunday. That's right. Every Sunday, make sure you go ahead and visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/TDC.ASAP. And of course, on the All Sports, All Plays Network, ASAP Network, right there on Facebook, which, by the way, apparently is having some issues. I think we may have gotten kicked. I'm not sure. It wasn't us. It was somebody else, but we're feeling the effects. But we're also on YouTube, on the ASAP Network, Twitch, Twitter, and we're on live stream as well on Roku. So make sure you go ahead and find us. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back with our picks right after this.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Oh, yeah. We're back. We're bad. Yeah, we've had. Let's go ahead and talk about our games. We're going to start for the one. Of course, we're going to start with the 1 o'clock games here in Carolina. It's New Orleans and Carolina. Don't really have anybody that's right now going to be out. Winston's on there as questionable. I'm sure he'll play. Kamara is on there for the Saints. He is expected to play, and that seems to be going on. So we got Carolina at home, 0-2 against New Orleans. And Randy has picked New Orleans. I am also going to do the same. I haven't seen much out of Carolina at all, but this may be the chance. But I'm sticking with New Orleans.
New Orleans. I don't trust Baker Mayfield. He had one game. I gave him one chance, and he blew it.
Yeah, he did.
I gave him one. I gave him the first game of the season.
And that was a pretty big game, too.
Yeah.
You want to go out there and I'm going to F them up.
Yeah, he was 2 quarters too late.
Yeah, a little bit. We're going to Soldier Field, 1 o'clock.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a CBS game. It is Houston, 0-1-1 against the 1-1 Chicago Bears. So far, everybody, I mean, no big names that are out. Ryan Griffin, actually the tight end for the Bears, is out. Matt Adams, one of the linebackers, and a cornerback, Dane Kushenk. I don't even know who he is. Probably not even anything to worry about. Roquan Smith is dealing with a hip injury. He's questionable for the Bears. Malik Collins for the Texans with a knee is questionable there. Brevin Jordan will be out for the Texans. Kurt Hanish is out, and that's pretty much it. 1 o'clock game, Houston and Chicago. I'd like to see Chicago bounce back, and I'm going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. So does Randy.
I'm taking Chicago again this week.
Okay.
Oh, so decisions.
You want to go against the grain? Come on,
yeah. Man, you know what? H-Town, stand up, baby. Let's go. I don't see nothing on that offense Chicago has. I think Lovey gonna do his thing. He's been shutting down. He shut down the great Russell Wilson.
This is a 1:00 game Eastern time, noon on the Central time in Soldier Field. That's on CBS. It is not a Fox game. This is CBS. All right, let's go to Houston, where the 2-0 Kansas City Chiefs roll into town to take on the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts. Harrison Butker is out with the Chiefs. He's the kicker. I'm sure they'll have a pretty good kicker to go ahead and take his place, I hope. Shaquille Leonard is out for the Colts, one of their linebackers. And I think Kansas City just keeps on the pressure. I mean, they're going to be playing in a controlled environment. You rain right there. What the hell is that? Oh, moving furniture. I am going to go ahead and take Kansas City. I know Randy also has Kansas City as well.
Man, the best team in the AFC. Go, Pat.
Chiefs.
Mahomes. Come on, man.
Okay. Again, that's also a 1:00 game. Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. That's a CBS game as well. All right, here's a big game. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Buffalo against Miami. You got the Bills with the depleted secondary. Micah is gone. Dane Jackson, Jordan Phillips, Ed Oliver gone. There is questionable Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox. They're questionable. On the Dolphins side, a couple of tight ends, Keaton Carter and Hunter Long. I don't think they're going to be big issues. Sed Wilson Jr., one of their receivers, is questionable. Xavier Howard is dealing with a groin injury. He's questionable, but probably going to play, especially in a game like this. Depleted Bills secondary versus the upstart Miami offense. I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm going to say Buffalo. I think they persevere on this one.
I take Buffalo.
Buffalo for Mike. And Randy also has Buffalo as well.
Yeah, Buffalo.
All right. That's a 1:00 game, CBS there in Miami. 1:00 game again. This is a Fox game at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. You got the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings division game, and a pretty early division game. 1-1, both teams. We have DeAndre Swift dealing with an ankle injury and TJ Hawkinson with a hip injury. They are both questionable. Aiden Hutchinson, thigh, he's questionable as well. Jonah Jackson is out. The Vikings are going to be without Andrew Booth, who's dealing with a quad, and Harrison Smith in concussion protocol. Eric Kendricks, one of their linebackers, is questionable for this game. Lions coming off a big victory. They have scored the points. The Vikings, we're trying to figure out where they're really at. I'm going to go with Detroit on this one.
I thought I was going to be the only one. I'm really leaning towards Detroit on this game.
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm going with the Lions. Ain't no leaning. Look, I was like,
they doing something. I gotta watch it to really true. Other than the Eagles, I was like, man, maybe it's just us. But I'm like, shoot, they came back and did the same thing the next week.
Randy is going lone wolf on this. He has Minnesota. All right, let's go to my game in Gillette Stadium, home opener for the New England Patriots, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. 1:00 game. This is a Fox game, even though it's two AFC teams, but Fox is picking this up. They have J.K. Dobbins should be making his debut he's going to be playing, even though they have him listed as questionable. There's a couple of cornerbacks that are questionable, but should be playing. Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. Damarian Williams also in that secondary. Both should be playing. Jacoby Myers is questionable for the Patriots. Jalen Mills dealing with a hamstring. Adrian Phillips and Kyle Duggar, both safeties, are questionable. We need Duggar. If Duggar ain't playing, this is going to be a problem. But I think it's already going to be a problem with Baltimore. But for the home opener, I got to go ahead and stick. I'm going to go ahead and at least give the Patriots a chance. Don't all go at once now. Come on now.
Pats will lose.
Okay.
What you say? Say it. Go ahead.
You want me to say it?
Go ahead and say it.
Get paid, young man. Get paid. Get paid, young man. Get paid. He can't throw the football. He can't do this. That sucker is doing his thing. It's Thug Thizzle.
Hey, I did see a post about his record against Josh Allen's record, and he has a better percentage.
Of course. The only
I mean,
difference
it's
is,
only like 2-3 games.
but the only difference is Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
That's the, like I said, they're no different than what they are. Everybody hypes up Josh Allen, this and that. Lamar's doing the same thing, same stats. Look at the stats, very consistent.
I did look into that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going lone wolf. Randy went ahead and picked Baltimore as well. So let's go to
loyalty.
Right. Let's go to the MetLife Stadium in New York, or excuse me, Jersey. The New York Jets hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. This is kind of interesting because the Jets actually have a better record than the Bengals. Of course, Zach Wilson is not going to be playing. Cue up Joe Flacco with the veteran leadership. Drew Sample for the Bengals is out. Jermaine Pratt is doubtful for the Bengals. Hayden Hurst and is going to be questionable with a groin. Corey Davis on the Jets side is questionable with the knee injury. CJ Uzmata with a hamstring, he is also questionable. Until I see something going on with Cincinnati, I gonna go throw it to the Jets. I'm not seeing anything going on. No, you know what? No, wait. No, I'm gonna go with the I've come to my senses. I'm going with the Bengals. They gotta win a game, don't they? Right?
At some point, we're gonna get the right pick. I'm going with the Bengals. I don't think they 0-3.
I'm going with Cincy. I'm just trying to figure out, do I need to put Wilson in my fantasy, this sorry fantasy team I got?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you talking about the one that you're on with the touchdown crew or another one?
Yeah, man. I dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata is sitting in 8th place, though. Even though you're 1-1, you're still not out of it.
No, man. I didn't pick none of half these teams. Well, but I never done it on NFL Network. So I was thinking I was doing like picking it to like, you know how you already have like your auto draft.
Yeah, you have your top list. So basically when your pick comes up, you just pick the next one.
Yeah, but it went straight. I think I pressed my wish list. And they didn't pick none of the guys I picked.
Either that or they were gone. I'm not sure. Anyway.
No.
Let's go to one of the toilet bowls on the schedule today. This is a Fox game. It's the Raiders and Titans. Fox is picking up a lot of by the way, last game is CBS, the Jets and Bengals. But Fox is picking up a lot of AFC games. Raiders and Titans in Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Hunter Renfrow is out with a concussion. He is done for the game. Josh Jacobs is dealing with an illness. He's questionable, but should play. Denzel Perryman, one of their linebackers for the Raiders, is out. For the Titans, you got Bud Dupree done. Taylor Lehman is done as well, one of their left tackles. You got Kyle Phillips, a receiver, he is questionable. He's doubtful. Zach Cunningham, one of the linebackers for the Titans, he is dealing with a knee. He is questionable. Listen, the way the Titans are going, they're giving up 30 some odd points a game. Raiders can easily do 30 points. I'm going with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Las Vegas.
And Randy went ahead with the Raiders as well. Let's go to Washington, the Commanders. The Commanders 1-1 at FedEx Field. Excuse me, they're 1-1 overall. We're playing in FedEx Field. This is a Fox game. They're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles at 2-0. Question being is, can Jalen Hurts hurt the Commanders? Eagles got nobody really injured. They got Landon Dickerson on the injury report as an offensive guard. He is questionable, so he may still play. For the Commanders at this time, defensive end, Casey Tuhill dealing with a concussion, and Daniel Wise on the defensive side dealing with it. They are out. William Jackson, one of their cornerbacks, is questionable with a back injury. Eagles going into Washington to face on Carson Wentz. I will go ahead and let's go Washington to lose.
Okay.
Oh, I got Eagles. I said the Eagles were the best team in NFC East, so they about to show it today.
I'm gonna show you the best in the conference.
That's straight off the. Listen, let's not overdo it here. Let's not
That
overdo it.
boy said the best in the conference.
That is a 1:00 game on Fox, and we are all in consensus with that. All of us pick Philadelphia, including Randy. We're going into Los Angeles SoFi Stadium, CBS game at 4:00 in the afternoon Eastern time. The Jaguars taking their victory and bringing it to LA to face the Chargers. Justin Herbert is on the injury board as questionable, dealing with a rib injury. We don't know if he's going to play. He is a game time decision, but he's listed on there as questionable.
I know one thing. I'm sorry for cutting you short. Please don't get some painkillers or a shot from your staff, because that's what happened to what's the name. He hurt his ribs.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
not good. Was that Ghost Skins? Anyway, Keenan Allen also questionable. Donald Parham, one of their tight ends, is out. And J.C. Jackson is doubtful with an ankle injury. For the Jaguars, only cornerback Shaquille Griffin dealing with a hip. He's questionable. I got to say, this is going to be two young gunslingers going at it right there in the bright lights of L.A. And Herbert is, if he plays, I got the Chargers. But if he doesn't play, I got the Jaguars. I don't know how to go ahead and officially put this in there. If I'm going to go ahead and make a play, I would say you guys go first.
Chargers easy for me.
Chargers. That pass rush is finna go.
Yeah.
You took Khalil Mack out of the Windy City back to the sunshine. He is balling.
I'm going to go lone wolf on this one. I got Jacksonville.
That's your upset pick of the week, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Look at you.
I know, right? I know. I'm just aching to get back to those 5 wins, ain't I? I'm just aching to go whatever punishment you guys want me. I'm just aching for it. I like pain.
We need to figure it out. Come up with a bet about that. I'm just being serious.
Yeah. I'm serious too. Yeah, we gotta figure it out. All right, staying on the West Coast there. Arizona at home taking on the Rams. State Farm Stadium, 4:25 kickoff time. Fox game. Van Jefferson for the Rams out with a knee. David Long, one of the cornerbacks, out with a groin. Kobe Durant with a hamstring. Another cornerback is out. And then Jordan Fuller is questionable on the backside. That's for the Rams. For the Cardinals, wide receiver Rondell Moore and linebacker Zeke Turner, both out. Questionable is James Conner, dealing with an ankle injury. If everything stays status quo, I think the Cardinals pull it off.
I think the Rams bounce back. They haven't been playing up to their capability, and I think they starting to get a little cohesiveness, get a little team bonding. They working a little better. I got the Rams this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Rams. I Cardinals should have been 0-2, but they made the plays to win it, so I like the Rams.
And I'm lone wolfing it again. Cardinals.
I don't understand why Mike don't have the Cardinals. He was very high on them, talking about playoffs.
But I told you that division, they wasn't going to clean sweep that division. Yeah. And how many division games have they played?
It's still a long time for a clean sweep. Let's put it that way. It's still a long time. All right. Going to Lumen Field. I don't know why they changed it to that. My God.
They haven't played a division game either. This is their first division game as well.
This one here, Atlanta going into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Seahawks 1-1, but I think that one victory is a lot of emotions behind that. But I think they've kind of gotten everybody figured out, or they've been figured out now. In Atlanta, 0-2, but not playing horrible. Falcons only got an offensive guard, Elijah Wilkinson. It is a personal issue. He's out. Seahawks only have one person out. That is Shelby Harris, one of their defensive ends. There is 2 doubtful ones, Joey Blunt and Justin Coleman, the cornerback there, dealing with a calf injury, Blunt with a hamstring, and Keandre Diggs with a knee is questionable. 425 Fox in Seattle. I think Seattle actually figures it out, and I think they beat Atlanta.
Man,
I take Seattle as well. I like Geno Smith this week.
boy, y'all is funny. Y'all is
I know.
because
He stepped up and showed out.
it's funny when I said Seattle's gonna be all right, boy. Y'all lost. They're gonna win for 3 games now. All of a sudden, we ride on Seattle. Boy,
Who do you got?
man, of course I got Seattle. I think Atlanta's in the same boat as Detroit now. They can't just get over the hump. That make it close, but I like Seattle.
Randy is going lone wolf with the Falcons. All right, let's go to the Battle of the Bays in Tampa Bay. Raymond James Stadium, 425 game on Fox. It is the Packers and Buccaneers. Sammy Watkins will not play. He is out with a hamstring. Christian Watson is questionable with a hamstring. Randall Cobb dealing with a little illness. Mercedes Lewis, questionable for the Buccaneers. Godwin, out. Hakeem Hicks, out. Cade Otton is doubtful to play. Donovan Smith, also doubtful. And Fournette, Gage, Jones, and Perryman all questionable with various injuries. With all that going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and a new receiver, Cole Beasley, I got Green Bay.
And Cobb he doubtful.
What? Who?
Cobb.
Randall Cobb is questionable.
Questionable.
It's not even a physical injury. It's an illness.
Okay, I'm taking Green Bay. Go ahead, fan.
You already know I am. we don't.
TB12?
Yes. No. Pause that. Not TB12 right now. It's that Bucks D, baby. Clamp City. Aaron Rodgers, you're invited. With appreciation of you of what's been happening to Clamp City. About to bring that.
Like you say, 2 games and your whole aspirations on the secondary has evolved.
Like a mug. Because you know why? They've done their thing. Look, they got like 6 picks. So I gotta give them, because what I say from the beginning, I said the biggest issue for them is the secondary. We're not worried about the upfront, because what does Green Bay want to do? You want to run the football? Come on, run the football. We ease that up.
Yeah, I'll agree. Run the football. I think the Buccaneers will go ahead and dominate, but we'll see what Aaron Rodgers does. Is he going to chew up that secondary or not? We'll see.
Then we got Cole Beasley. We got a little short white boy. Tom Brady works well with them.
Yeah, but no Evans, no Godwin. Gage and Jones are banged up. Even Perryman's banged up. The whole receiving corps is banged up.
And Fournette got a little.
Fournette's got a hamstring, but he's a power back. He'll
who is not banged up. The injury report is if you go into the training room, it is considered on the injury report.
But that injury report changes. Hang on a second. We got John. John, go ahead. I know you called in a couple of minutes ago.
I just want to say Cole Beasley's going to have a great game today.
He's the only one catching passes. Of course he is.
He puts his body out there. He's not scared to catch the ball across the middle, especially when he played with the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's right. He played with the Cowboys. John knows about it.
Beasley's going to be a great player. It's going to be a big factor today. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck, Bennett.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Bennett, you are you going lone wolf on that one. Everybody's
fine. That's fine.
I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying it's fine or not fine. It's
we're gonna be all right.
Okay, chill out, relax.
And Tom Brady didn't take his Wednesday off.
He took his Wednesday off so he can go ahead and have a
No, he didn't.
nap.
He didn't take his Wednesday off.
He didn't take his Wednesday off?
He had to get used to them receivers he got now.
He didn't take that Wednesday off.
Oh, so he's gonna get like Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
Ooh, don't worry. We're gonna be 3-0 next week. We can take 2 days off because that defense is coming.
All right, next game, Sunday Night Football. It is the Niners and Broncos, a rematch, but not really, of Super Bowl 29. Both teams 1-1. It is in Denver. It is Russell Wilson versus Trey Lance potato chips. Packers got Tyler Kroft is out.
Is Trey playing?
That's pretty much who? Trey Lance? Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Jimmy G. I was like saying Trey's gone. Yeah, he's done. Jimmy G going against Denver. Now that may change a little bit. So anyway, Broncos have a slew of questionable people. Jerry Jeudy is questionable. Tyree Cleveland questionable. KJ Hamler, all receivers that are questionable. Draymond Jones, the defensive end, is questionable. Jonathan Cooper, questionable. Josie Jewell, questionable. Patrick Surtain, the second, questionable. For the Niners, well, with the exception of the obvious, not really much of anybody. Tyler Kroft is out, though. Their tight end. And Eric Armstead is questionable with a foot injury. 8:20 Eastern on NBC, Sunday Night Football, Niners and Broncos. I'm going to go with the quarterback that wins games no matter what, and that's Jimmy G. I'm going with the Niners.
I'm going 49ers. Man, you crazy. They can't 2 touchdowns in 2 games. Let's go 49ers.
Mike?
I'm going with Russ. I'm saying it.
You have to.
The Broncos will win tonight, mile high.
Well, we know somebody's mile high right now. All right. So, you're going lone wolf. Randy picks San Francisco as well. All right. 2 more games. You got Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys going up against the New York Giants. You're never going to hear me say this again, probably for a while. The Giants have a better record than the Cowboys. 2-0 against the Cowboys, 1-1. They're at MetLife Stadium. So that means there's 2 games going to be played at MetLife in the same week. Jets playing on Sunday, Giants playing on Monday. 8:15, of course, this is going to be on ESPN and ABC. Dak Prescott out, so you know who's playing now. Cooper Rush, the newly undefeated quarterback on the NFL, 2-0. Michael Gallup, he's got a knee injury. He is questionable. Dalton Schultz is questionable. Micah Parsons, dealing with an illness, is questionable. Everybody on the Giants, we got this guy named Robinson. He's out, his receiver. Justin Lane is out with a concussion. Nick McLeod, cornerback, out with a hamstring. And Aaron Robinson with an appendix out. So 3 cornerbacks out for the Giants. And then you got Tony, their receiver, out. Doubtful with a hamstring. And Leonard Williams with a knee. Giants a little bit banged up on the secondary. Will the Cowboys take advantage of it? I will say yes. I'm picking Dallas.
Who you got, Mike?
It's hard to take Rush.
It's hard to take a rush. I mean, you're already mile high. What a rush.
I'm gonna pick the Cowboys.
Cowboys coming.
I had the Giants earlier, but I'm gonna go against what I said I should have.
It's on you, Vic.
I'm gonna go Giants.
You're gonna make this even with the Giants? All right.
Go Giants. I went back and forth.
We are split on that one. All right. Now, we don't have an injury report because it's Thursday night. We don't know what's going to happen today. But the Miami Dolphins at Cincinnati. That is in Cincinnati, and really, I don't think it really matters. Miami.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Oh, man.
Okay. Tiebreaker, my friend. Tiebreaker.
I'll take Miami.
Miami.
MIA, baby.
All right. Picks are in. Let's go over real quick. So, okay, so for New Orleans, Carolina, we all picked New Orleans. For Chicago, Houston, we got Chicago, except for Vic, who's picking the Texans. We all have Kansas City beating Indianapolis. We all have Buffalo beating Miami, but believe it or not, I was kind of surprised that didn't go a split. We have Detroit beating Minnesota, except for Randy. Randy wants Minnesota. Y'all have Baltimore beating New England. I got the Patriots, so I'm going lone wolf on that one. We're all picking Cincinnati to finally get their first win against the Jets. We're all picking Vegas to get their first win against the Titans. We're all picking Philadelphia to go up against the Commanders and command them. We are going with the Chargers over the Jaguars, except for me. I'm taking them. You guys are going with the Rams over the Cardinals, except for me. We're all going with Seattle to beat Atlanta, except for Randy. Randy's going with Atlanta. The Packers reign supreme, except for in Victor's mind. And we have the San Francisco 49ers beating the Broncos, except for Mike. Mike is taking them. And we're split. I have Dallas, and so does Mike. Vic and Randy have the Giants. That's the only one that we are split 2-2 on. And Miami for Thursday night. Me, Vic, and Randy have it. Mike is going Cincinnati. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our picks for week number 3 going into Thursday night for week 4. Enjoy the rest of your games. Any final words? We're going to go with the coach, Coach Bennett in the house. What's your final words for you?
Have a great day. That's it. Hey, enjoy your week. See you next Sunday.
Mike.
Super Bowl champs, Philly Eagles. You already know.
Hey, are we posting 17-0? Is it a possibility? 17-0?
No. I told you I'm not sold on that guy wearing number 1 yet.
Number 1, but he's number 1 though.
He is QB1.
Yeah, he is. Because there ain't no QB2.
Right. Man, I'll get it done though.
Guys, enjoy the games today and tonight. If you're in Florida, make sure you pack up because
pour water on the charcoals.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it stays a little bit more to the west, so that way it don't affect me. I'll be happy. Just don't come back east, otherwise we'd have to board up quicker than. Anyway, have a great Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.